part 2 of today's video, we're going to be getting into the nitty-gritty of video production with Mr. Ryan from Cumberland Marketing.
Yep.
So
skateboard was still your end goal with the video side of things, though.
Yeah, that's like where it started.
At what point did that
kind of pivot?
Yeah, at what point did you pivot into something that wasn't skate?
Well, like my degree and all the schooling I did was really heavily based in like news production and sports production. Sure. So I was involved in all of that, and I enjoyed like the production side of it, but I also got to find out, luckily, I don't want to do news. I was like, this is not my thing.
I want to do sports.
Sports was at least a little bit cooler. It was like more exciting. But
you're probably missing the creative side.
But I really, leaned into the creative side. Like I still had some cool classes where I got to do like a music video or just a silent film. Like just tell a story, you know? And those are the ones that like really stand out to me. I was like, this is cool.
Yeah.
But I think too,
I like this.
I think too, like the stark difference between like a skateboarding edit and news would have had to just been mind-bogglingly boring for you. I've got a very close friend of mine. He's from Kingsport, and he used to film skate videos for him and his crew. And you learn a lot in an environment like that. You're adapting constantly because you're reacting to action.
Yeah,
like you're planning almost nothing. You're reacting to what's happening in front of you. So that's like a skill set that you're developing at that point in time.
For sure. Same thing with news.
Yeah.
Like I'm grateful that I have that experience because it's happening then, and you have to tell a story, and there's no repeats.
That's fair.
So shout out if you're doing the news. That's hard stuff.
Not cool enough for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I enjoy. Personally, I like a little more of the control, and you have very little of the control in news.
Yeah.
Especially if it's like, like on the scene reporting, like you're just.
It's hard stuff.
Jared's a planner. He plans everything to the T. And unfortunately for him, his best friend and business partner is the exact opposite. I wing everything.
Yeah. If Garrett's pants created a lift, he'd fly by him.
Oh, yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I
He
fly
wouldn't
by
be on the ground.
Yes.
But I have a fun time.
So you ultimately ended up in marketing.
Yeah, and I think this is where I've always wanted to be. I didn't really know it at the time.
Is it because of the diversity?
Yeah, I think that's definitely one of it. As I've been here for a while, and I think this just comes with like age and trying to be more mature, which is kind of a laughable word to use. Yeah. But I've just figured out a little bit more about myself and kind of like what makes me tick, right? What makes me happy too. And like my biggest thing is probably just connections with people.
Yeah.
That's why I got excited that you all reached out, and I was like, yeah, somebody wants to talk to me. Like, I like to talk to people.
Yes.
And it's the same thing with work. I mean, I just love and feel like honored that people want to tell their stories to me, and that I get to help bring it out of them.
Yep.
And the other part of filmmaking that I love is it's crafting something. Yeah,
right.
Like I was a Lego kid growing up.
Nice.
Okay.
Same.
Yeah, buckets of Legos. My kids still, they got all my Legos. They got buckets and buckets of
Legos. You're saving a bunch of money by handing those down
Don't
because
throw
those
those
suckers
away.
are expensive. Well, they're expensive now.
There's a few things that we do not throw away in my household. Number 1 is Hot Wheels. Number 2 is Legos.
Cool. Okay.
Number 3 is tractor toys, and that comes from my dad. But either way, keep those things, folks. This is your PSA. Keep your Legos and your Hot Wheels because them things is expensive.
Yep.
Yeah. So
crafting
stuff. Yeah. I like to make things. I like to have a beginning, middle, and end. I like to have the finished product. It makes me feel good.
Yep.
That I can have a little completion, and then it's done, and then I move on to the next one, and then I do it again, and I make things, and I kind of have these little kids I birth, and then I set them out and free in the world. And it's fun, proverbially.
Yeah.
Yes.
Of course.
Okay.
I mean, you've got actual kids too. Though.
I do, but I didn't have to birth them.
Oh, true. That's true. That's true. Yeah. You're helped in the creation portion. But I do want to talk about something really quick that you mentioned, because this is something that I personally struggle with when it comes to creation. How do you get yourself as the outgoing guy, as the guy who I can pick up on a little bit is almost maybe a hyperfixator to a degree? How do you get yourself to complete projects? Because I find myself, I get super duper interested in the subject. I do the process of shooting. Maybe I start an edit and then I ultimately squirrel.
Yeah.
So what keeps you grounded?
I almost feel like you sleuthed into my office because I excel in wonder and innovation. So idea generation, gotcha.
Yeah.
Like you want me to think outside the box, something cool, something new, creative.
I've got 47 ideas right now.
Got them in the holster.
I know. Let's go.
Yeah.
I do not excel at getting things done. It's not, and it's just like, I'm kind of glad that I took one of these. I mean, we've done a lot of personality tests here.
Yeah.
We've kind of been into them, but they're cool. Like
they
have been little like windows into myself.
Yeah.
Right.
So
We've taken 2.
We've taken 2.
I'm an ENFJ. Like I'm a Briar Riggs. Oh man, I don't even know. I'm a 7. If y'all know the number
The
thing.
Enneagram?
Enneagram.
I'm a 2.
We're both 2s, but we wing
Twosies.
differently.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm a 7. I'm
We
just
can't
here
say
for
no.
a good time.
We can't say no, and we want to help everybody.
Yeah.
I know who to call when I need help.
There
And
you
I'm
go.
also a little bit of a performer, I guess they would say, with my wing.
But to really get to your question, I mean, there are things that like continually get me excited.
Sure.
So, I mean, if like, for instance, we have a production coming up this week that like, I'm excited to go shoot.
Yeah.
Because we have a really cool creative concept. The client's down with it.
Very cool.
We get to exert some creativity. And I know, like, I just have a good vision in my head that we're going to walk away with some really cool visuals. I'll be excited to put them on the computer.
Yeah.
To see if this crazy little plan I made up like comes to fruition. So there's always like a little bit of motivation.
Sure.
So what
Luckily,
keeps
if
you
you're
after
excited,
you see it, though?
but if you are not too excited about your project, and sometimes that just happens because at the end, like I'm really here to please not myself, but like our clients. and the other
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have
people.
to make them the heroes.
Right. So, you know, there is just that amount of grit and just get stuff done that you kind of have to come into.
Yep.
I do well kind of going in little short spurts.
Yep.
You know, I'm an outside person, so being inside all day kind of wears on me a bit. A lot of times my doggo, Bo, is in here with me chilling.
Oh, go Bo.
So, you know, I got to take potty breaks. We got to go for a little walk.
Yeah.
Just those like simple little things, little mental breaks.
Yep.
Just staring at something that's not like a foot away from your face is hopeful.
True. That's for true.
Yeah. And taters, like make
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you have like food and you don't get hangry.
Keep
and
the sweet taters in the back pocket.
Yeah. Stay hydrated. Get some electrolytes in you.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you've got a production coming up, and it seems as though this client trusts you guys. They are letting you guys have a little more creative liberty, it sounds like. Kind of speak to what video can do for a business. Like so for transparency background, if I'm given a photo camera and a video camera and someone says, which one do you want to do today? I'm picking the photo camera 10 times out of 10. So like I'm a photo first guy, but I also recognize that there are things that only video can do.
Right.
Right.
So what would you say allows video to be superior in some cases there?
Yeah. Well, I think to me, like you can get this in photography, but it's either harder or you can't get as much, and it's just emotion. Right.
Sure.
Right. Like, ooh, I can like spill over emotion in a video because you have so many more elements.
Yes.
True.
You know, I
Sound
think that's what
effects,
makes
music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. All of that can come together and you can get story. And then all of a sudden you can flip the script and you can like blow somebody's mind with an ending they didn't see coming.
Yeah.
And they're just like shook. And
You're
you're
right.
like, I did that to you.
Yeah.
And you're like, that's awesome. That's having some power. And that's like the power of video, and that's having emotion.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So that's the big one to me, is just like you can use video. This happens a lot, you know, to tell information.
Yeah.
Because sometimes people are tired of telling somebody the same thing over and over.
So we deal with that a lot.
Why don't we help you make a video?
Let's be efficient here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because we don't need to do that over and over, and it'll probably make you a little bit less crazy.
Yes.
My professor in college, I have a computer science background, and I was in a programming course, and he said, look, if you find yourself doing the exact same thing with your computer every day, write a program to do it.
Yeah.
Because there's no sense in you repeatedly doing the same task.
Yeah.
Same thing with a business. Like if you constantly find yourself telling the exact same script, essentially, save yourself some time.
Yeah.
Get that in
Create
video.
an FAQ video. Like it's that simple.
Oh yeah.
It's that simple.
We've got one coming up soon for somebody.
Boom.
Same thing. I mean, he's just like, I'm so tired of
tired of
telling
saying
this
this
over and
exact
over
same thing.
again.
Right.
I'm going to do some 35 or like 30 to 1 minute videos that people can just watch.
There you go.
It's like solid idea.
Absolutely. That's a
Well,
great efficient use of time there.
Yeah.
Well, and as a byproduct, he gets to go back to doing what he probably gets paid to do, which is not answer all those questions. And that's another thing that makes video so powerful. We're storytelling, we're bringing out emotion, but we're also giving people freedom back. We talk to so many businesses, and I'm sure you guys do too, that are constantly having to do tasks that are not forwarding their business because they are answering so many questions.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, we try to give you a little bit of your life back
Yeah.
sometimes, and the big thing for video too is just try to get more to like the why. You know, I mean, if it's like a product or service, your website or a brochure, a lot of things can like give that information.
Bridge that gap,
you know, but video is great because you can really explain like why you do something.
Yeah,
you
you
can
craft
show
that
it.
story.
And I think that's like, there's always emotion in somebody's why or
Yes.
a company's why.
You can craft that story.
So I think I have an answer to my next question here. A lot goes into a single video.
True.
A lot goes into a single video, especially if you've had the opportunity to plan and do creative and maybe a mood board, all of these things. Several processes take place before you ever see a finished MOV file or MP4 file. What is your favorite part of the video process?
Well, you know, I kind of alluded to that a little bit earlier because I'm a people person. I really thrive off the connection. So for me, it's the actual shooting is like being on set.
Yep.
You know, right now, like we work as a team of 3 people as our kind of creative team here for doing video. We'll kind of hire some extra hands if we need them, but a lot of times it's the 3 of us. We got to break out those roles.
Right.
And oftentimes I find myself gravitating towards being the like director on set.
Okay. So not cam op then.
No, you know, shout out Nick again.
Okay.
Go Nick.
Nick loves holding that camera.
Your
Yeah.
BB.
He's a strong guy too.
Yeah.
You
Okay.
got
You can give
biceps
him-
for it?
Yeah,
Got the back
you
for
got the
it?
back.
Nice.
He'll hold that Movi.
Go Nick.
He's got steady feet. He's got
Oh, he's got the ninja
You
walk,
got the
as they
feet
call
back.
it.
Yeah, they do
he's
look pretty
done,
steady.
He's done the ninja walk.
Got
He's
the
good at
bricks.
it.
Got the Brooks on. I probably said the
he's
bricks.
got them big ones.
You did
with
say the
cushion on
bricks.
there. So
He's got the Brooks to support the bricks. There we go.
Brooks on. He's got
But
bricks on
you,
Brooks.
but you enjoy being on set.
on set, working and the problem solving is like a big appeal for me too.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, I really like problem solving, like on site, figuring things out.
Yep.
Because I'm technical.
Okay.
So I like to know all the nitty gritty details about
Right.
cameras and lights and this and that. But then it helps me problem solve later on set,
Yeah.
like right
Yeah.
away when
That's
I
fair.
need to do something or whatever it is. Jordan, who works with us too, is another great like director.
Okay.
She works great in sort of like a different avenue. And a lot of times I work alongside with her, kind of being like the technical arm.
Okay.
And then she's the more like big picture kind of director.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
So editing.
Yeah. What about it? Yeah. It's,
Where does that fall in your love of the process?
brought up the E
falls
word.
right towards the
Towards the
end.
bottom.
Yeah.
'Cause
But
it's the last thing you do. And
it is. You've already spent energy but here's the pivotal part though. Like until that edit takes place, it's
Yeah.
nothing but recorded clips on an SD card.
I know.
You know
It's
what I'm saying?
like
Like
zeros.
you don't have the emotion that you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
You're not able to put those elements in. It's literally just
So
pretty pictures.
unfortunate. So
know.
unfortunate.
It's like the make or break moment.
Oh,
you know?
for sure.
And there's times where especially if I am feeling like motivated too, it's like, ooh, I want that edit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But it also comes down to like some styles too.
Okay. Yeah. That's fair.
You know, all 3 of us here kind of have different styles, and I feel like what we excel in.
Hmm.
And I really do love the like storytelling stuff.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Maybe even if it's a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And we're not just doing a 60-second
Yeah.
for social.
You mean
Speaking
videos
our
can be
language.
longer than 60
they
seconds?
could if you'd let me.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Speaking our
Interesting.
language
I
now.
know. So I mean, I love those things where I get to just craft something a little bit
Yeah.
more.
Right.
You can spend time
I don't think
with
I'm
it.
like the fastest editor.
Okay.
You know, as far as what I can see Nick do in Final Cut, I'm just like, how'd you get that first draft done already? And it's just like,
Well, you know.
I don't know. And I was like, that's amazing.
magnetic timeline.
Yeah,
yeah,
go
I know,
Nick.
right?
Go Nick.
He showed me the Final Cut ways though, so that's where I am now.
Okay.
If we're gonna get a little detailed.
So
Resolve has me intrigued though.
We love
we edit
Resolve.
exclusively in Resolve. Yeah.
We are
Yeah,
resolvers.
we're resolvers.
boy.
We were Premiere Proers
We still use Premiere on
for several
occasion.
years.
Still hate it.
Yeah, still hate it.
Just as much.
It's
Just a little
clunky.
spinning ball.
It's
It crashed
clunky.
on
It
me 3 days ago.
Crashes. Horrendous export times. But
Resolve doesn't do that to me. It treats me good.
That's nice.
so
Let's give it to
so
me.
I think a lot of it comes from too though. Like Garrett and I both started with photo, and so we started editing raw images.
Yeah.
And so we really enjoy. Garrett really nerds out on the color page
Right.
of Resolve. So color grading, Garrett really loves.
love
But that's
coloring.
really powerful in DaVinci.
Oh yeah.
Plus, too, like honestly, the transition was seamless. Once we got our
Yeah.
keyboard shortcuts set up the way that
Yep.
we had it in Premiere, it was a very seamless transition. So yeah, if Resolve's got you intrigued, give it a go.
I've done a few projects
Give it a
where I
go.
wanted to do some more color in them.
Uh-huh.
And it's just
Yeah.
any color grade in Resolve, even if you do basically the same thing, it just looks better in Resolve.
It looks better, and the workflow is so much better.
Yeah.
Once you mentally
nice.
wrap your head around a node,
Yeah.
Yeah.
as opposed to layer based,
Right.
on the color side of things, it's like, oh,
Nodes-
my possibilities are endless
Well,
here.
nodes and then specifically power grades are literally powerful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not just a LUT at that point in time.
That's right.
Yeah.
With power grade.
Very-
So I
very
definitely
dynamic
nerd
at
out
that
on the
point.
color side with DaVinci. Love it. I don't think you should just tiptoe. I think you should just
No,
dive
no.
on in.
Dive on in
Okay.
there.
Dive on
Well,
in.
I have actually, I'll full transparency, I've never opened Final Cut.
Ooh.
Never even had Final Cut open. I just know they have a magnetic timeline that's very polarizing.
I've
lot of
meandered around in it
Never done it.
and then meandered out.
It's, yeah. I mean, I like it more than Premiere.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah,
it's good.
Well,
Definitely better than anything's better than Premiere. I could edit on a stone tablet better than I can edit in Premiere.
I don't know if I'd go that far,
Kill
but
it.
I mean, it is.
I'd be willing to try it.
It is a
They're
tough
tools, whatever.
one. They are tools.
They get the job
They
done.
are
They
tools, and it's probably good that you can do all of them. Actually,
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. I know. We're kind of split here in house. Me and Nick are on Final Cut. Jordan's in Premiere.
Okay.
She does a lot of our After Effects work too, and she's also kind
okay.
of our
That's fair.
photographer. So
That's
she's
fair.
just
Yeah.
using the whole suite.
She's
That
an
makes sense.
Adobe
So-
Creative Cloud
That makes
user.
sense.
Yep, that makes sense.
They
I
got
will
her
say
hook,
this:
line,
After
sinker.
Effects is probably a little more intuitive, at least to me, than like the Fusion page
Yeah.
within DaVinci. So I can understand that. I
Yeah.
can definitely understand that.
One final question here.
Yeah.
You guys deal with a lot of different businesses, and you've done marketing for a while now. In 2024, what are 2 videos that every business should have? Like just non-negotiables. You need to have these 2 videos today in 2024 in this online world.
Well, I'd say the one that we do a lot of here, and this comes back to like showing your why.
Yeah,
We call them like brand videos.
the brand piece.
Brand piece. Got to have like your brand video that illustrates your why to your
Yep.
consumer.
Yeah.
Who you are, what you do, why they should care.
Yeah. Yep. And that's where like you use emotion.
Yes.
Oh,
You
yes.
know, and you bring them in, and it's just you're trying to get them to be your biggest fan.
Yeah.
Do you find that to be a semi difficult sale in the sense of, so like if I'm a business and you're saying, hey, we should start with this brand piece, I'm sitting here thinking, doesn't sound like a quick return.
Yeah.
It doesn't sound like an ad.
Right. The metrics on that are tricky to track.
Yeah.
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 It is, but it's like, I don't know, you got this on your website, people immediately have clarity as to who you are.
I think a brand video specifically, and I mentioned this to you, Jared, a couple of days ago. And if you're a friend of Chris Doe at all
Yeah.
on Instagram,
Yeah.
Chris had a very good explanation when it comes to branding versus like traditional marketing and ads. Your ads, yes, you can have a 1 or a 0 as far as your
Attached to
numbers
it.
go.
Yeah.
As far as your feedback and as far as your actual return to it. And those are great for quick sales, quick hitters. But if you're actually trying to build an audience,
Sure.
people that believe in you
Yeah.
and people that want to be on your team,
Yep.
the best way to do it is with a brand piece because you're able to get into the story elements.
That's right.
People attach themselves to people. They don't
Yeah.
attach themselves to companies
No.
or to industries. They attach themselves to people. So whenever they can see the people
Yep.
behind XYZ brand, that's where you build an audience. And the way that Chris explained it was beautiful, but it truly is. You're harboring a community of people who want to be on your team.
Yeah.
You can't really do that with traditional sales or traditional marketing
Yeah.
with ads. It is a tougher sell though because
Yeah,
those are
I know.
what
Again.
we call intangibles.
Yeah, you're spending money on a piece of creative. You're
Yeah.
thinking like, what's my ROI?
Yeah, what's my
know.
ROI?
You
What's my
know,
percentage?
It's the long sell here. But
It is.
is.
It's a long play. You're
Yeah.
curating community.
But luckily, it is something that for most companies, it actually like sticks around.
Yeah.
I mean, we really try to do our due diligence, and we have our brand expert Kevin
Yeah.
in here who can do a full brand workshop with our
Yep.
people.
Very cool.
And like we just really dive in like on who they are.
Yeah.
And that whole process. Come back to talk to Kevin sometime on full brand deload. But I mean, it's great, and that is a video that can last a few years.
Oh, absolutely.
Assuming
That's what I
like
said,
your ethos on
Yeah,
who
as
you
long as
are
your
stay
core
the
stays
same,
the same, yeah.
right? Then that video should still stay relevant.
Yeah, it's evergreen. It's an evergreen piece.
What's
at that
another
point in
one?
time.
Hit me with another video.
And then the other one, I kind of struggle because it gets really specific.
Mm-hmm.
But if I think of another more broad stroke,
Yeah.
I would just say like consistent social
Okay, yes.
stuff. Just anything where it's just being you. I mean, it doesn't
Yeah.
have to be
Being you and
highly
staying top of
produced. Yeah. Just stay top of mind. Just
Yeah.
talk about your product or your brand, your service, whatever it is. Just keep it up front. So when people are doom scrolling, they at least see your brand or logo
Absolutely.
or
The
doom
whatever it
scroll.
is. I mean,
I would agree
it's
with that.
important. Yeah.
Definitely consistency. We have one too. We're a big fan of testimonials.
Yeah.
Those are a great follow up to your brand piece.
Yeah.
Your story piece.
Yep. I think a lot of times we capture those kind of hand in hand.
Yes.
If we're lucky enough to get like somebody who uses the product or service to be in the brand video, then it's just like,
Oh, that's
well, we have you.
knocking two birds out with one stone,
Yeah.
as we like to say.
Yeah, would you look at that? There
Let's sit
happens to
them
be
down.
a camera here and a light, and you're here too. We
Yeah.
might as well.
Yeah,
Tell me about why you love this so
Yeah,
much.
we might as well.
absolutely.
So it's a solid one.
Very nice. Very nice.
Well, Ryan, whether you enjoyed your time or not, I hope you did.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you for coming on.
Yes.
Thank you.
Certainly
yeah,
appreciate
gentlemen. It's a pleasure.
Appreciate
Certainly
it.
appreciate
I have
it.
enjoyed all of our discussion. Taters, Arizona, cheese curds.
Japanese wedding filmmaking.
Yeah, I know. That one is still.
I'm so caught up on that.
I did
Yeah,
not
I'm
have that on my
intrigued.
bingo card this morning.
No.
I forget that I did that sometimes.
I would
Yeah.
love to see some of that, actually.
It was long-haired Ryan too.
You had long hair?
Long-haired Ryan.
Yeah, I mean not like ponytail long hair, but
Okay, like
Justin
shoulder.
Bieber when he was
Oh,
like
okay,
10,
yeah, yeah, yeah,
long
yeah.
I think we
hair,
all had
like
that
the
phase.
swoop.
Okay.
We all had that phase.
Like
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Baby, baby.
Oh.
You
We all
finished it
have.
for
I
me.
mean, we
It
all
was
have
cool.
those
Oh, I had-
different characters throughout history.
I had long hair.
He was
at one
like
point.
Skater Ryan.
Yeah.
Ah,
When I,
that's
when I wasn't working, I was at the Al Moana skate park.
that's
skating-
where you were in
skating
the
Shout
with the
out.
homies.
I got you. I
You
got
say
you.
Admoana?
I think it's Ala Moana.
Ala Moana. Okay.
Yeah.
Ala
Wow.
Moana. Shout out.
Hawaii.
Ala
I'm
not
Moana
even gonna
skate
try
park.
that.
Forgive me if I can't say the word.
Hey, it sounds better in Blountville.
If I can't say Blountville, then
Blountville.
give me
said it.
some Hawaii.
just did it.
I mean, I can
On
do it
record.
because I learned.
Does
but
it hurt you to say it that way?
It's you know what? It's become a weird like mind game in my head. Now that it's been brought up to my attention, I didn't know it was a problem, and now
Yeah.
I do know it's a problem.
Well,
So now I go 50-50.
I want to set the record straight. It's not a problem to me.
No.
I mean, you
Cool.
say it however
Thanks.
you want to.
Yeah. I'm going to
You-
know
you
what
say
you
how
tried to
Ryan
say,
wants to say
it.
and I'm going to like correct it in my head anyways.
That's good.
So,
Yeah.
listen, you know what? I got to get your take because you're pretty cultured now that we just kind of rehashed
Very
that really
cultured.
quick.
Yeah.
What is one food when you got here that like you would recommend? Oh, dude, if you're visiting, you got to try this.
That's tough.
That we have to go to. See,
Now, it don't have to be restaurant specific. I'm saying
Food
like
type.
yeah, just
Dish.
cuisine. Like, oh, dude, you've got.
Well,
to
listen,
have-
I definitely have had some like Southern things that kind of blew my mind. Like I didn't know that like chocolate pudding exists in this world.
yeah.
No, wait, chocolate gravy.
Chocolate
I
gravy.
mean, chocolate,
Chocolate
pudding
gravy.
exists.
That's a
Chocolate
polarizing one
gravy?
here.
I love chocolate gravy.
Like
He's not
what?
a fan.
That gravy don't.
He's not a
Yeah,
fan.
it doesn't belong on a
Okay.
biscuit.
I love
Interesting.
chocolate
It better have
Interesting.
sausage in it if it's going on my biscuit.
Or like Christmas jelly. Is that what we
Christmas
call it around
jelly.
here? I don't know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like
chocolate-
cinnamon.
yeah.
Got a little bit of spice to it or something.
So what else have you
I'm
had?
probably like getting my names wrong here because I'm an out of towny, but
Well, it's okay.
So
but
what
those
else?
are like just some cool like local things that people have made and kind of brought in.
Yeah.
But,
You watched the show Chef's Table by chance on Netflix?
maybe a long time ago.
Okay, at the very end, they slide in like this chef's.
Oh yeah, it's always the top downs.
Yeah, always the
Chef's
top
table.
down of their pivotal dish. What would Ryan's pivotal Southern dish be?
Yeah.
What would they slide across that chef's table?
I mean, does it have to be Southern? Because my pivotal dish is not Southern.
Ooh.
Okay, what's your pivotal dish?
Well, it's Southern, but it's like south of the border.
Yo, that's
Ooh,
fine.
okay.
I mean, growing up in Arizona, like
Yeah, I bet you got some
I
good
eat
stuff.
Mexican food like at least every other meal.
I
Nice.
love. So you're Tex-Mex then?
No,
No, actual Mexican food.
Yeah, actual.
Okay.
Mexican
Yeah.
food.
Okay. What?
No, no
what's,
Tex-Mex. Tex-Mex is a little bit too much queso.
Okay.
Okay, that's
what,
fair.
What's the dish then?
Yeah, what do you
Southern
got?
or not,
It's,
I don't
it's
care.
just
You're
got
the
to
guest
be
today.
like carnitas tacos with just like onions and cilantro, maybe like a radish on there.
Traditional.
I just love the real good like street tacos. Like there's
Corn
a good,
tortillas.
A good food truck around here. Yeah. El Mr. Taco.
Uh-huh.
It's like, yeah.
A little bit of cilantro on there.
Yeah.
Do you like
Oh,
do you like street corn?
Yeah. Oh, I had great street corn recently while we were traveling. I don't even remember where it was.
Now
Somewhere
I'm
in
hungry.
Virginia. But
Say,
oh my
I'm-
goodness.
I'm finna go bust a food truck open.
Now I'm hungry.
Speaking of busting things open, Jared, there are some things that our audience can do to bust open our feedback section. What are those things?
Well, I mean, if you can't pick up what Garrett's laying down at that point, I don't know what you're gonna do with the rest of this segment. But leave us feedback. Give us a
Yeah.
review. Leave us a comment. Give
Stars
us a
and bars.
rating. Yeah, anything. Hey, if you think maybe you think of someone when you heard this, you're like, hey, so and so might enjoy this. Hey, send it to
Shoot them
them.
a link.
Yeah, send it to
Shoot
them.
them a link.
If you have a strange friend that really likes potatoes,
And skateboarding in Arizona and
make 'em listen
Japanese
to
wedding
it.
film.
We know a guy.
We do
We
know,
know
a
a
guy.
guy.
We do know a guy, and we know the company that works for. And that will be in the link in description below.
Yep.
Cool.
Thank you guys again for letting us use the facility today.
Oh yeah,
Very
cool.
rad.
Very cool.
Very
Very,
rad.
very accommodating. Appreciate that a
yeah,
lot.
we got you.
Jared, here's the hard part.
Yeah. We'll see you guys later.
He didn't make it very hard. Ryan,
Thanks, Ryan.
Thanks
Yeah,
again.
thanks. See ya.